controlling. Yeah, exactly. Controlling, yeah. So the theory of why manager, that sort of approach tends to foster trust and motivation and stuff, inherent motivation, because they feel like they're trusted and that they have something to contribute. It can be abused though, of course, Those people who aren't motivated may actually just not perform because there's not enough control in place, okay, to actually force them to do so. But yeah, it's going to affect how the managers decide to try and motivate. So the rewards that a Theory X manager is going to use is going to be focused on, dangling a carrot. Do this and you'll get a bonus, or do this and you'll get a whatever. But for Theory Y managers, we're focusing on those higher order needs. So the self-actualization, so the career development, the opportunities for growth. So training and those sort of opportunities are going to be more valuable in that sort of approach. So McGregor's Theory X and Theory Y is a slightly different attitude, but it has been useful for sort of getting an understanding of what type of manager are you, and how does that actually impact on how your staff are motivated as a result. That one's on page 417 in your text.
So when you're starting with the McGregor Theory X and Y, you sort of can take, but just for the reward sort of thing, you can take that Maslow's hierarchy of needs, is that he sort of, his rewards are the physical needs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, but ultimately, when you're talking, this is about talking about these things in different ways. They're putting, these theorists have put different explanatory models in place around the same concepts, essentially. So we'll look at some more and how they overlap in just a moment. But the other one with this was the self-fulfilling prophecy. Do you remember that? Yeah. So people, Theory Y managers, tend to. That's how people will tend to respond. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe people are positive, then people will become positive. If you believe people are negative, they will become negative. So it can be a bit of that aspect in there as well. So Hertzberg's two-factor theory, he came in and said, no, Maslow's got it all wrong. He did a study and actually asked people, what are the things that make you satisfied and what are the things that make you dissatisfied at work? And these things, they come out very similar to those things that Maslow's put in his hierarchy. But he's just saying, well, there are two factors, not five. Okay? And so the two factors are our hygiene factors, and these help to prevent dissatisfaction. Okay? If you don't have these in place, then we will become highly dissatisfied. So those hygiene factors are the pay, the working conditions. That's very similar to Maslow's physiological and safety needs. Okay? And then we have motivators. So the motivators are the things that will promote satisfaction. Okay? And so those motivators are more of those higher order needs from Maslow's hierarchy. So the recognition, so the esteem, and the development opportunities, so achievement, growth, advancement. So, in other words, we need both hygiene factors to prevent dissatisfaction and motivators to promote satisfaction. What do you think about that one?
I think you've been using a bit of smart art from the book.
This is actually just came off the textbook.
No, I'm looking at that, and honestly, it's smart art now.
Oh,
Went on it.
Oh,
did
yeah.
you go?
There's a bit
Oh,
of
yeah. No, hopefully to go, but I went on it, yeah.
This one's direct. This one's straight from your textbook. So they provide they actually provide electronic PowerPoints.
Oh, so you don't have to do anything. You just gotta send out the report.
I don't use all of their PowerPoints. Over the years, I've just adapted it so it fits our purpose, because they've got heaps of stuff in there that we don't necessarily need, and it's not always displayed how I like it. But this one is just a diagram from your textbook, basically. The next one's smart art. That's smart art, yeah. That's from PowerPoint. Did that all by myself.
Another one take with that two-factor theory, is it pretty much saying that you need to have both of them? Because obviously, even if you do tick all those boxes for the hygiene factors,
Yeah,
if you didn't have any ticked off on the motivators,
yeah, you're not promoting,
you're
yeah.
going to go to dissatisfaction, aren't they?
That's
So
right.
They work
you
together.
sort of need two to bring it.
At the very least, we need this side sorted out to prevent dissatisfaction, okay? If people are neutral, that's better than being dissatisfied. But if we want satisfaction, and there's plenty of research there that shows that high satisfaction leads to a high performance, well not high performance, but people are more motivated to perform if they are more satisfied in the job. It leads to lower turnover, lower absenteeism, lower counterproductive workplace behaviours and so forth. So we are aiming for high satisfaction.
So KFC's got a lot of hygiene factors.
In more ways than one.
Yeah, am I on the right track?
Yeah. Alderfer's ERG theory broke it down into existence needs, relatedness needs, and growth needs. We're really looking at the same stuff, they've just put it into a slightly different perspective, okay? So have a look at the diagram at the bottom of page 420.
Why don't we have that diagram?
It's in your textbook.
Well, I don't copy that.
So your existence needs are those base needs, those physiological, the food and the water and pay and working conditions. The relatedness is our, relationships with others. And our growth needs are that personal growth and development. And you can see how they overlap with Maslow's ones from that diagram at the bottom of page 420.
So what was that page number 420?
420,
So it's essentially the same as Maslow's theory.
that table.
Simpler.
Yeah,
It
but
breaks it down.
they're breaking
break
them
it
down into different categories, yeah?
Yeah.
It's-
Oh,
But ultimately, we're talking about all the same things, so all the same things are important. So as a manager, it's great if you know Maslow's hierarchy of needs and Alderfer's ERG theory and Hertzberg's two-factor theory, and you can talk, through your nose about them. But ultimately, what does it matter? What it matters is that you know how to relate those principles to the staff and the people that you're working with. Okay? Ultimately, you need to be able to think, what is it that's actually driving my team, and how can I use those principles to, foster more motivation? The last one is slightly different, McClellan's acquired needs theory. Yeah, they have a bit of shared stuff there. So McClellan basically broke it down into looking at what is it that sort of drives people, and each of us has an individual driver, and that might be a need for achievement. Okay, so with a need for achievement, it's there in your book, you're basically looking for challenging tasks and to excel and do well. Your need for affiliation is that belongingness, connectedness, okay, and for people to like you. And so they suggest that managers with a high need for affiliation may not be the best managers because, it's hard to be in that situation. As a manager, you have to make difficult decisions. You can't, people aren't always going to like you. You have to be able to make the hard calls. And need for power. Need for power, it was about that personal need to have influence and control over others. Now they've broken that down into personal power and institutional power. Which do you think is going to make the best combination for a good manager?
All three.
All three?
but you're not sort of manager, but higher ones, we need for care and need for achievement, I would say.
Need for power and need for
Like you
achievement.
say, you don't want to be completely away, but you don't need, what do they say, you can't run with the hands and lap the foxes, so to speak.
Yeah, that's right. McClellan actually thought that it was going to be need for achievement that was going to make the best managers, and then he did some research around that and discovered that that wasn't necessarily the case. Need for achievement makes good entrepreneurs and small business owners, because they're out there for their own, purpose and for their own gain. But it was actually sort of a combination of need for achievement and need for power, with an institutional power more than personal power, which actually sort of was a better profile for managers. Let's have a look at activity 2 in your handout, which is a little case study getting you to think about how would we look at what's happening in this case study from each of these needs theory perspectives that we've just talked about. If you want to work with somebody, that's fine. If you want to work by yourself. Yes.
Do I have, am I giving like giving these, which are the present job, what would motivate these to that? I don't have leaving that job.
Just look at, you're not leaving that job. Look at Maslow's hierarchy and go through them and go, are those met?
Okay.
Yes. Are those met?
And write them
Yes.
down.
Are those met? You don't write it down.
Oh, yeah.
Are those met? Yes. So are all those things met in your current job?
Yes.
Possibly. If so, what is it that could potentially be driving her into this new job?
Okay.
the health and safety, is it on the Tuesday night? Yeah, it's the work safe, health and safety
Oh,
forum.
that they wanted from yesterday. Yeah, that next week. Has everyone to do?
Not next
I've
week,
seen
but
that.
24th.
Yeah,
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Is it was doing?
It's basically, it's a forum for local West Coast businesses with interest in health and safety, so it's sort of run by WorkSafe.
Yep.
And there were a lot of businesses there that first night, everyone eats, so they're.
I saw the first one, sorry, was that, where was the first one?
At the Ashley, about a month or two ago, but they're having it, yeah, we'll have more space here on that lecture theatre here. So there's usually, like, there'll be presentations from various people and businesses,
Yeah.
so, yeah. I mean, it could be interesting, I think it's open to anybody, you just have to register and say you're willing to go. Yeah, it's just local businesses sort of sharing their experiences and their knowledge with health and safety issues.
Yeah.
The interesting to see how many do it next one.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause I think a lot of people have already got their own health and safety, but it was interesting. If you want to network, you've got to be cut out to network.
It's a good networking opportunity and it's good in terms of, like it's trying to promote, because the health and safety legislation has changed, it's trying to promote different ways of doing things and getting businesses to look at what they're doing. Because there are still a lot of businesses who probably aren't actually really complying, or they don't know what they need to comply with, so it's about sort of educating as well, so.
So what about, so office manager to go to that, because like, yeah, my husband wants me to work, but,
Yeah.
as office manager, but
Yeah.
he can't go to this because he,
To be, yeah, for it.
yeah.
So it's about, trying to get your own rule. It's going to be a presentation
There you
on
go, right?
Yeah.
employee well-being.
So how long ago was the first one?
Yeah, it's going to be every 6 months. All right, should we have a look at our needs, theories, and motivation for leave? And thinking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. In her current position, does she have all of those needs met at the moment, do you think?
I believe so.
Looks like it, doesn't it? Very much from what information we've got.
Or with it says she expects to be promoted soon.
Expects to be promoted soon.
Yeah, that's still showing
The opportunity
the
growth.
steam and then the opportunity that it's there.
And the opportunity is there. So what, what would motivate her to
Challenging
go?
project,
What's that?
would it be the challenging projects and the job
Challenging project, yeah, that's something about, she has that with her current job?
But you definitely find, I mean, like Stacey ticks every box pretty much there, if she enjoys the job, she's
Yeah.
Boss
appreciated.
brings out the boss best in her, so she's obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, if she went into the business with Jamie, then she'd have that power.
Yeah. So we're really looking at the top level self-actualization, it's a potentially a more challenging and more inherently sort of autonomous situation going out to work for herself rather than working for somebody else. So perhaps that's, one of those, if she thinks about her drivers, what is it driving her? Maybe it's to be in business of her own account, be her own boss. Maybe that's more important than, all of those.
Security, because she's
all of
got
those
security
other
where
things.
she is.
She's got security where she is. She's going for something that's less secure.
Yeah.
So her needs might change in relation to this.
Yeah.
But, but that would be the only thing that would really drive her to go, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
According to them. What about according to Hertzberg's two-factor theory? What would we look at from that perspective?
Growth and advancement.
Yeah, that's right. Looking at the case study, she's got the hygiene factors for sure, that's fine.
She's got most of the motivators.
She's also got most of the motivators, that's right. She's got the responsibility, the recognition, the potential for growth and advancement.
Stacey's got all of them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But perhaps comes down to not necessarily the the work itself being rewarding, and maybe she sees more value. Maybe we start to see some values-based stuff coming in where she's thinking about working in childcare, with childcare is something that she's more passionate about than perhaps the current role that she's in. So, yeah. What about from Alderfer's ERG theory?
Growth needs.
Yeah, growth needs, absolutely. She's got existence needs, she's got relatedness needs. Although, what about relatedness could be appealing for this new venture?
Getting to work with her classmates.
Getting to work with friends.
Yes, or relationship with Janie change.
Yeah, yeah. So it could be that she wants to have a good working relationship with somebody she knows and trusts. In organisations, people come and go. Her boss might, although she's got a good boss now, he might leave in 6 months, and then she's stuck with somebody she doesn't necessarily like, and she's got no control over that. So at least with going off out on her own, she's perhaps meeting more of those relatedness needs, and definitely those growth needs. Thinking about how she can. Going out into business of your own account is definitely a whole another step in terms of personal development and what you're ready for. Anything else that came out of that? McClellan's acquired needs?
No,
I thought you might need for power.
Maybe need for power,
Or control over others.
and control, personal power,
oh, that was the one I didn't have. Help with achievement as well.
and need for achievement.
Yeah, I
Going
think
out
that-
into business, that's a sort of strong driver.
I also had need for affiliation as
You
well
did?
because of the bonding with children. And
Bonding with kids, yeah, exactly. She's currently got a supportive work environment, but maybe she wants sort of more valuable interactions with others, more meaningful interactions, and she sees that that is possible with the new job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And we all just think she's crazy for leaving her the perfect job, right?
Yeah.
Not even thinking about it. Taking that gamble, but that's what happens,
Oh,
you know.
out of the way. You're going to do all that stuff.
And as her boss, what can you do, Like, you can't throw more money at her. She's got all her physiological needs met. You can try that.
She's also her friend, so it's not to say that they haven't already discussed this between themselves or we
Yeah.
need to put it to her.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, how would you try and keep her if you're her boss? Being
Chocolate.
training and development opportunities, really sell the potential for career development and advancement and, maybe some financial incentives, but if she's got more than she needs already, then there's some research that suggests that, we're only actually motivated by financial rewards, so up to a certain point, and then above and beyond that point, it becomes, rather,
So more about becoming mentally stimulated.
yeah, that's right. The other factors become more important. So, and I think they look at base salaries, and I just think it was, I can't remember, it was around 50 or 60,000 or something. Anything above that becomes, doesn't actually contribute to satisfaction anymore. Then, so long as you get to that point, you're okay. But beyond that, isn't actually adding any value. Interesting. So yeah, it's about thinking about, financial rewards. If you're already well remunerated, it doesn't actually motivate a lot of people. Right, better move on and look at cognitive theories. This is about thinking.
This is your forte, yeah?
This is a psychologist's forte, yes, looking at the thinking patterns people use to decide their actions. So the first one is looking at expectancy theory. It's a guy called Vroom. So this is in your text, page 421, 422, 423. You heard of expectancy theory?
Just now.
So this is about how do we think about work and how does that affect our actions, okay? So